may begin.
It always seemed impossible until it's done. I'm sure you all have heard this quote before, but do you know who said it? Well, in the end of my speech, I hope you all do. The man is my hero, and his name is Nelson Mandela. I want to talk about Nelson Mandela himself, his country, his work, and his achievements. During my Mandela, or Madiba as he preferred, was born in 18th of July 1918 in a country where he was not welcome. He was born in South Africa affected by apartheid, and their black people didn't have any right to vote. Madiba started early to take part in politics, and as a young man he became a member of ANC, an organization who fought originally for apartheid using non-violence. This was the start of a long career in politics, 27 years in prison, and a start of an end of apartheid. It was worth fighting for the country on the very bottom of the dark continent. My hero was a black man in a population where 90% of the population were black, so there shouldn't be any problem, and he shouldn't have any hard time with that, but because it was his and his center's country. But the world is not fair, and some people like to think that they are better than others just because of their color of their skin. The blacks weren't allowed to vote, and it seemed like there were nothing they could do to change anything. But Madiba decided to make an end to this, and this would cause him a lot of trouble, suffering, hate, and 27 years behind the walls. Why couldn't he have the same rights as the white, just because he had a skin color that was better adapted to the climate he lived in? Madiba decided to change this. He was he declared himself as guilty when they accused him for sabotage, and he was willing to die for his case. In 1972, my idol was imprisoned on a Robben Island, and he lived in one cell, which was way too small for him, for 18 years. He was actually accused for being there for a lifetime, but after pressure from people, organizations, and nations all over the world, he was released after 18 years. And then South Africa suddenly became one big party. People had been waiting for this moment for such a long time. Things were about to change, and as Barack Obama said in his memorial speech, it took a man like Madiba to change not just laws, but also hearts. He released jailers, he released prisoners, but also the jailers. After 4 years, there were a new election in South Africa, and this time, black people were allowed to vote. Nelson Mandela became president in 1994 as the first black president in South Africa. He had become a president, and he could do whatever he wanted to. He could have treated the people who were treating him in such a like an animal for such a long time, but he didn't. And I, as so many others, have asked myself the question, how did he manage to forgive? After 5 years, Madiba stepped down, and at this time he was 80 years old, and he wanted a younger generation to take over. Till now, Madiba had achieved so much, and he kept on working. If you want to take a look at your handout, you will see, you will get some information about a day called Madiba Day. I don't have time to explain this now, but Mandela was the first person ever to get his own day on the United Nations calendar. And if you could put it away and then that I will suggest you to read it later. Nelson Rahimullah Mandela died 5th of December 2013, but his ideas will live forever and he will also live forever in the heart of his friends, family, and fans. Madiba shared lots of love and joy and happiness, and because of this, people start to consider him a saint. When people did this, he said, "I'm not a saint unless you think of a saint as a sinner who keeps on trying." Even though he said he was not a saint, he changed a lot of people all over the world, and even the world's most important man, America's own president, said that he has learned a lot from Mandela, both as a man and as a president. I hope you know more about the man who was a president, peacemaker, political prisoner, and president. Because Nelson Mandela was a living symbol of wisdom and courage. And now I want to finish my speech with a small part of Obama's memorial speech in Nelson Mandela's funeral. The questions we face today: how to promote equality and justice, how to uphold freedom and human rights, how to end conflicts and wars. These things do not have easy answers. But there were no easy answer for that child born in World War I either. Nelson Mandela reminds us that it always seemed impossible until it's done.
Thank you very much. Let's give a round of applause. Thank you.